Yo, what is up, everybody? How is everyone doing? Hope everyone is doing good. I am back for another live stream. We got the logo up. We're already off to a good start. The lighting looks decent, I'm not gonna lie. So hopefully everyone is doing good. I hope everyone had a lovely Easter long weekend. If you are celebrating that, you spent some time with the family, doing whatever you gotta do. Happy Passover to my fellow members of the tribe. I hope everyone had some good food, a relaxing time, and didn't lose too much money. Because we did have a little bit of volatility on Sunday here. So what we're going to do today is we're going to do the typical clout goblin thing where I'm going to go and tell you how I called it and show you all the squiggly lines I drew and how if you kind of look at it with one eye closed and sideways, it almost looks like I know what I'm talking about. Yeah, we'll talk about last week's stream because we made some predictions on Bitcoin and Ethereum. So we'll cover that real quick. We'll also talk about the KNC short that we took last stream that played out, and the near short that ended up front running our entry, but still played out pretty nice. So we'll talk about those. And then we can do some altcoin requests and stuff at the end. I'll interact with the chat because that's half the fun anyways. And hopefully within an hour, we're out of here. But real quick shout out to the sponsors of the stream, Prime XBT. You guys have been doing super good using that link. I really appreciate it. I'm getting several DMs every day of people signing up with the link and using my promo code. So that is awesome. I really appreciate it. Please continue to do so. Whatever you got to do in life, make sure one of those things is, using that link. If you got to put food on the table for your family or click the link, obviously the choice is up to you, but you should click the link because then who knows, maybe you can trade your way out of poverty, and then you won't have to worry about putting food on the table for your family anyways, right? It's that easy. So use that link, use the promo code Mayne50. If you want to get access to that 7% deposit bonus, you got to put the promo code in before you deposit any money. All right, so shout out to Prime XBT. So we are going to talk about Bitcoin first here, obviously, and then we will get into Ethereum. We'll take a look at some altcoins, and then whatever stupid shit the chat says, we can deal with that. This DW guy in the chat's already pissing me off, so we're gonna have to mute him. Because DW stands for Dick Don't Work, right? This guy's obviously upset. He's got an innie for a penis when it should be an outie, and he's decided to come in the chat and just start talking shit. First, he says BC sucks. That's the province that I live in. For you Americans, that's like a state, but less cool. Then he says you can fly without a mask in the US, and Canadians aren't allowed on a plane unvaxxed. Do I look like I have any control over any of this stuff, bro? Like, why are you so mad? And then he says, maybe up or down, saved you guys 20 minutes. Well, he's wrong again because these streams are usually an hour long, at least. 20 minutes is an understatement. But it's okay, bro. I understand that your penis is inverted and you're upset about it. And much like a kind of elementary school bully, you're like, I'm mad at myself. So what am I going to do? I'm going to go to school tomorrow and I'm going to take it out on others. And that's okay. I can be your punching bag, bro. I don't really care. What you think and what you have to say, it matters. It matters to no one. Literally no one. So if you're going to yell at a wall in the chat about how upset you are, that's okay. Let it out, bro. We're here for you. This is a safe space for you to complain about your small penis, all right? So let's get into it. Bitcoin. We're going to start with Bitcoin here. So last week's stream, we were trading this support level here. So we had that breakdown finally occur. We broke down from here, consolidated, broke down again, and then we had this support area at 40K. So if you go and watch last week's stream, which I suggest you do, available in Epic Pen Pro. I do have Epic Pen Pro. What is this bullshit? Hold on one second here. Guys. I'm getting scammed right now. Bro, I have Pro. What is this? What is this scam? What is this scam? Activate Pro. I already have Pro. I'm getting technical difficulties to start the video. Pro, $30. I already paid that. You're not making me pay twice, you son of a bitch. Sorry, I got to deal with this right now, guys, because I'm gonna be super mad. Oh my God, you're gonna make me copy and paste this bullshit live on stream? They don't know I'm on stream right now, and they're literally trying to rug me. Epic Pen, if you're listening, first of all, you should be sponsoring the stream. Second of all, this is a scam because I already have paid, and now it's asking me to activate my shit again. Oh, funny how that works. Activation successful. That's what I fucking thought. You piece of shit. Sorry about that, guys. Back to your regularly scheduled programming. It was trying to not let me do my cool little triangle. Can you believe it? So we were trading here at this 40K level last week. We had this dump. I went live here. And then I basically said, listen, my first area where I expect a reaction is at this 12-hour order block, confluent with the 40K SR level. And I thought that we might trade up as high as 42. So I was looking to trade back into this bearish order block, which led to that leg down. But unfortunately, we didn't get that far. We did fill in this fair value gap here, traded up into this fair value gap, which is essentially just this void, this down only price action, traded up into there. On the low time frame, we put in some SFPs, and then we sold off. And then on Sunday, we had this, this sell off. And now we've recovered, right? So we've got our first bounce from this area. It didn't get as high as I thought. And now we're back up here. Technically, we've made a lower low. So this is actually a tricky little area here, because you could argue that this is a lower low, and we're going to now put in a lower high here, and we're going to trade lower. The other, kind of argument you could have is that this is actually a big old daily swing failure pattern here. And this might actually send us up, to 42, maybe even higher, and then have a leg down. So I'm a little unsure. I'm going to have to let a little bit more PA play out before I decide what I want to do. But we're in a tricky little area, but it doesn't change the fact that we got the little bit of relief, and then we had that second leg down. It didn't come as high as I thought it would. I thought we'd come up here. I kind of ignored that fair value gap. If you look at Ethereum, we had basically the exact same plan, right? Last stream, this is the squiggle from last video, so you can just take a look at it, freeze that in your mind with my face going like this. Told you so. Fucking told you so. So we came up into here, traded just below 3150, put in that bearish PA, and then had that leg down. So that's what we were expecting. I didn't end up shorting Ethereum or Bitcoin. I ended up shorting some altcoins instead because I thought they would be higher beta, and they were. We'll cover that KNC short in a bit. But now we're right back, above 40K. So this is definitely kind of a key area. And if you want to just have one level on your chart that I think is super relevant, look at that. I was going to say 41.5. I just randomly clicked. I'm off by $11. If that's not precision, I don't know what is. But 41.5 has been a pretty key pivot for a while. So if you look for basically this entire year, 41.5, there's support, traded below, resistance, traded above, nice bounce there, we're back below, and this has been kind of a level that price has oscillated around. So if we're able to trade back above 41.5 here, I wouldn't be surprised if we get a little bit of a bounce. How high it goes, I don't know. Maybe we get up to 43, 44, but this seems like a level that, every time we trade below it and then get back above, we get a nice pop to the upside, right? So this could be your deviation. Maybe we get a nice pop to the upside. I want to be very clear. I'm still aiming for another leg down. I still think we're going to trade to 35, 37, and ultimately trade down to the you-know-what line at 30K. So I'm still in that mindset that any bounces from here are ones that you want to be looking for reasons to fade. But just like we've had, this rally, and if we have another, which, resulted in a lower high and then a leg down, if we have another rally up here, you don't want to necessarily be shorting too early, and you don't want to be ignoring opportunities on the long side, especially on alts. When Bitcoin has these 5 to 10% rallies, even if the market is bearish as a whole, you see a lot of altcoins bounce really hard and do very well. So you don't want to be completely blind to the long side, but I am still bearish biased based on the high time frame. Okay, if you look at the super high time frame charts, to me this doesn't look like the sell-off is done here. That looks like a lower high. On the weekly there. And to me, even if we get a bounce here, I'm pretty sure we're just setting up for, a bounce and then eventually this to crack and then us to come test these lows. That's still what my main thought is based on the high time frame. Obviously, I could be wrong. How would I know I'm wrong? We got to put in some bullish market structure on the higher time frames. But until then, I'm unsure of how high this bounce can potentially go if it's already done. I'm going to talk about a couple scenarios that I'm watching on the lower time frame here to kind of give me a clue. But based on the high time frame, I'm still of the mindset that this does trade lower, down to 35. I do think we run these lows. So that's the 35 to 37K area I'm talking about. A run of these lows, maybe generate a big bounce. But ultimately, I do think those summer lows and then obviously these lows here, I think eventually get run. The question is, do we get a decent bounce before then? But I'm not convinced that you know the selling is done. You know, if anything, maybe we come up into this area, entice a bunch of longs again, and then get that sell-off. I'm not really sure yet. But we will talk about some scenarios and some potential trade ideas, and then I'll lay out some plans that will work out perfectly, and then I just won't follow them myself because that would be too easy, and I like to do things on hard mode. Yeah, let's get my levels back here. How many times do I have to press a button to get my levels back? We always never know. So what am I looking at here on the 12 hour? So we have this little swing high here that we've SFP'd. So we have that 12-hour candle close, which was the daily close a few hours ago. Closed as a swing failure pattern, and then we started the new daily with a move up, took out yesterday's high, right? So this is yesterday's daily candle. We took out its high, and we're now trading back below that swing high. So this is something I'm definitely going to be watching here to see how this 12-hour candle closes. So this 12-hour candle doesn't close for another 5 hours, if I'm not mistaken, if my math is correct. So we still got a lot of time. A lot can happen. We could definitely close through. If we close through this swing high, I'm pretty sure we take a stab above here up into this level here. But this is the most immediate level I'm watching to see if some bearishness forms and for me to potentially get into shorts. So what do I mean by bearishness? This kind of stuff, right? We come up into resistance, swing failure pattern, break in market structure, pull back, retest the bearish order block, sell off. Well, what do we have forming here? Some high, some very long upper wicks, swing failure pattern. Still too early for me to tell. There's not enough here. As you can see, this was several hours, more than several. So there's a handful of hours that went by here before we were confident that this was going to roll over, right? We got the break in market structure. Just because you have an SFP doesn't mean the whole move is going to reverse, but it's a good, intro signal being like, okay, we ran that high on the 12-hour, closes an SFP. The H1 is putting in some SFPs here, little 3 drives action. Still too early to tell, but something to monitor. We're going to be monitoring this area because this is not what you want to see if you're a bull necessarily at resistance. Right? If you're a bull, you want to see us start closing above this high here, which is that 12-hour swing high. The bulls want to get back above that 48.73 level according to this Bitfinex chart. We want to be trading above there. This is the 15-minute chart, so we're getting quite granular at this point. That stands for granular. But if we maybe break this low, right? Close like this. Okay. Now we can start building an argument that this is going to pull back potentially deeper. I think the bullish argument here, so we've explained the bearish argument. Hopefully that's clear. I'm not short personally yet. I do want to see how this next 12-hour candle closes. If it closed like this, I'd be looking for shorts on the lower time frame, but too early for me to tell. It's only Monday, and it's the start of a new day. So too early for me to tell, but this is what I'm watching for now. The bullish argument, now that we've discussed the bearish argument, to me is probably a pullback to here. So the bullish case is that this is a swing failure pattern. Okay? So you'll learn about these in the swing failure pattern video that I'm going to release in 2069. All right, so big swing failure pattern here, bought back up. We also had a lot of volume. The last few days on FTX, for example, like the 24-hour trading volume was like $1 billion. And I know that $1 billion, that was my Dr. Evil impression, sounds like a lot. Generally, it's more like 3 to 5. So the market's been a little bit thin. It did pick up near the end of the day today. The stock market was the same. It was extremely illiquid all day. Looked like it was going to eat shit. And then like 20 minutes before the close, it completely retraced the move. Right? So if you look at stocks today, we're about to close like this. And then like the last little bit of the day, we basically saved the candle and saved it from looking absolutely horrendous. So Bitcoin did a very similar move. But I think the bullish argument is that this is a swing failure pattern here. And you could argue two potential setups here. So big swing failure pattern on the daily. Bullish target for that swing failure pattern, in my opinion, at the very least is here. So that's like 42 to 43K, let's call it, at the very least. So this swing failure pattern, sellers are trapped below that level. You push it, you squeeze them to the other direction. This would be, I don't know why I have the box there, but this would be the target of that swing failure pattern, right, on the daily. Let's assume that you didn't enter when the daily candle closed, right? Because if you're looking at it, the daily candle closed way up here. Based on the rules of the swing failure pattern, you enter when the candle closes, your stop goes below the low. That looks like shit. If your target is here, your risk reward is garbage. But what you can hope for is that we then retrace into some of this candle and then you get long. So you can zoom into the H12 and you could say, okay, well, this is the breaker, right? This is the candle that drove price below. We're now back above. You enter here and then target 1, target 2, right? Target 1, target 2. Stop there. Or you zoom in even more, and what I would personally do, because the swing failure pattern was on the daily, I need a new fucking mouse. This little rubber piece broke off, and it's right where my thumb goes, and it's super fucking annoying. Fuck you, you piece of shit. Razer is the brand of mouse that I use. Sponsor these videos and send me a fucking mouse, pieces of shit. Where I will make it my personal life's mission to fud your company into the ground. I have that kind of pull. Trust me, bro. What the fuck was I saying? I would zoom in personally, and I like this H4 breaker more because it's a lot closer to your invalidation. So you could argue if we pull back here, right? Ran those highs. If we pull back here, you could long this H4 breaker with your stop here and your target being above 42. I think that would give you a better risk reward, and I like that setup. So at 42, we're at 1.5, and then at 43, we're at 2.4, and then as high as maybe 44, you're now at 3R. So that's a potential long scenario that I could see playing out. Pull back, retest this breaker, so your entry zone is 39,700 up to 40K. You could sprinkle some bids in a little bit higher and average your way in. You can do whatever the hell you want. It's not up to me. But that's a potential long scenario I could see playing out based on this low break and reclaim. So effectively, you have a deviation. You're now looking for price to retrace into that deviation and then continue higher, right? Entice people to short. There's already trapped sellers down here. Pull price back, enticing people to short. What are people shorting doing? They're selling. There's buying that then occurs on this down leg here, which then propels us higher. And then those buy stops that those people who shorted this high have in place here provide us with fuel to send us even higher, right? So that would be the long scenario. So hopefully that makes sense, okay, guys? So the short scenario, we're watching this candle close on the H12. If it closes bearish like it is right now, let's assume this candle closed as it is right now, I would zoom in on the low time frame, look for potential areas to get short based on the hourly. Similar to what we did here, I'd be looking for something similar here, right? So we have those SFPs, we have that 3 drives. Okay, there's your break in market structure. Now I'm looking to sell a pullback with my stop there or my stop there and fill in some of this candle. All right, so that would be the kind of thing we're looking for on the low time frame on the short side. And then on the long side, I think I made it pretty clear. Pull back towards this H4 breaker. See if you can get an entry close to 40,000, and then your target is like 42 to 44. I don't know how high it goes, but ultimately, regardless of how high it goes, I'm looking to then short whatever this leg up is back into 30Ks and lower, because I'm still bearish. I think that high at 48K is a lower high, and I think whatever this bounce might become is another lower high. All right? Is that clear, guys? I even gave you the risk reward tool and everything. I'm too nice. I swear to God, I'm too nice to y'all. So let's wait and see. The hourly is looking like kind of like Barty. You know, like the Bart pattern here. It's looking like the beginning of one. But remember, this can chop around here and then go up. It doesn't have to completely retrace the move. Where was this confirmation? Once we got that break in market structure. That's your high confirmation short. Shorting before then is a lot riskier. Unless you zoomed in and got a lower time frame market structure break, you didn't really have confirmation until that market structure broke here. So until we see like a low break and then a pullback, that's when you rip the short, in my opinion. Oh man, DW been real quiet since I exposed his inverted penis. Jeez. I took MDMA. Your stream is wonderful, bro. Get help. It's Monday. It's Easter. Should be out looking for Easter eggs with your family and eating turkey. And you're doing drugs? Drugs are bad, bro. Unless it's the weekend. Then they're fun. Short it live, 1 million CAD. Me shorting 1 million CAD is like someone else shorting 1 million in Monopoly money. It's not real money. Yeah, maybe I didn't pay my Epic Pen bill. It was $30 for a lifetime subscription, and they were trying to rug me, bro. This guy has to take a poop. All right, man, have fun. Make sure to wipe front to back and then back to front just to be doubly sure. Olivia, dude, stop swearing. Fuck no. How about that, Olivia? You're probably a dude. I think we retraced to 40.2K from here. Well, that would line up with that area that I had suggested. So I concur, my friend. I concur. I've never been gay before, this guy says. Crypto Icon, how fucked up are you right now, man? You're all over the place. You gotta eat less of those mushrooms, bro. It's melting your mind. It's turning it to mush. Okay. There's got to be a gay line to the upside. Yeah, for sure, there is. So the inverse of the gay line, right? Because we all know what the gay line is. I don't need to cover that. We went over that in the last video. But the inverse would be above 47,000. Back above 47,000, I'd actually call it the inverse zone. 47 to 48,000, which is where this lower high is, in my opinion, my professional opinion. I am a professional. Above there, it's back to you guys all get girlfriends season, right? Back above 47, 48K, very good chance we get back into the mid 50s. And at that price per Bitcoin, you can probably convince a girl to date you. I don't know for sure. I don't know how ugly your face is. But above there, things get exciting again. Doesn't necessarily mean we're making a new all-time high, but at 50K of Bitcoin, I'm sure you can at least get a date with some girl on Tinder. All right, but until then, take crypto out of your bio because no one wants to hear about that. Go back to posting pictures of you with like a fish or your fucking friend's dog. Okay. Is Size Chad's chin real? It's impressive as so. It's not just that his chin is like super defined. His head is just massive. Like his head is absurdly big, but it fits. It just fits him well. I couldn't imagine his head not looking how it looks. Okay, so does everyone understand the Bitcoin plan? The short plan, the long plan, the levels, my reasoning, all that stuff. I think it was pretty straightforward. Long story short, I'm not in a trade right now. because we're going to hop over to Ethereum next. I will look at near. Good. I'm glad it's making sense to you there, bro. That is a Blue Jays cap. You're correct. I don't want to talk about my Raptors getting absolutely eviscerated right now by the 76ers. Someone's got to do something about the refs in this series. It's only 2 games in, and the disparity in foul calls is insane. At halftime, the 76ers had 26 free throws to the Raptors 4. That doesn't make any sense. This guy says, so it could go up or down. Yeah, exactly. It could go up or down. That's how trading works. Thank you for the very insightful comment, bro. I appreciate that. How do you trade something like GMT, or is there not a good way to do something like that? My advice would be, not financial advice, don't short something that's in price discovery, right? Because what you're doing is you're just fueling for price to trade higher, right? So if you're shorting this, where are you wrong, right? Where are you wrong, and how do you know that the top is in? Right now, if I wanted to short this thing, the only thing that makes sense is it would have to trade back below that previous all-time high. Because then I have some semblance of my risk being defined, right? Okay, well, that was a deviation above this high. Now I have an idea of, where my trade might be wrong. But otherwise, you're just guessing where this thing's going to top out, and you have no fucking idea. Can you zoom in and look for some sort of low time frame trigger? Sure, right? Like maybe if we break below here on the hourly, right, we get some sort of retracement. Okay, well, now I have my risk defined. Like if you're trying to short this, right, you need some way to define your risk. And this also lines up with that previous all-time high anyways. But you need something to define your risk. I don't like shorting things that are in price discovery. If you're trying to long this thing, I mean, listen, it's vertical right now. Look where the low formed. Here's your down candle that led to that last up move. That was your floor, right? When you saw price respecting this level, swing failure pattern at the low, higher low, right? Higher high. Maybe that's your trigger to get in. Retest that order block. Go. Or you zoom in, right? And you say, okay, well, I'm bullish on this for whatever reason, because who fucking knows? Look for bullish market structure, right? There's your bullish order block. There's your retest. It's now made a higher high. We're now on the 4-hour chart, and there's nothing but up candles here. So the only level I could see as a retrace to buy would be that previous all-time high, kind of $3 big figure level. There's nothing here on the H4. When you're trading something that's super vertical and you're trying to get involved, you have to zoom in and you have to be buying pullbacks on the lower time frame. But there's no easy way to trade price discovery. Ideally, you're in this thing already, or you're waiting for a sign of reversal to short it. Trying to chase along up here or guess where the top is going to happen is a dangerous game. But a pretty safe bet here was when we broke all-time high, probably going to get some sort of pop to the upside. But, I don't know. Right now, looking at this thing, this is the level I'd be watching, right around 320 to 325. See how it reacts here. If it nukes through this, sell the retest. If it consolidates here, buy it. It's going higher. Stop here. All right. What's going... Yeah, you don't have to trade everything. Absolutely. What's going on with the Plan B model? I have no idea. This guy says he's fat and poor. Hey, go to the gym, man. Then you'll be skinny and poor. It's an idea. I don't know. So Ethereum is the price action that we're looking for and that we've seen is the exact same as Bitcoin. So I'm going to get this squiggle out of here because it's just making a mess, but I'm just going to leave it up for a moment so you can see that I did indeed call it. I told you so. I'm like Nostradamus, except for I'm Trader Mayne Damus. I called it. I told you so. I was right. You were wrong. All those other things. Get that out of the way. Give me the clout. Okay? Soak it in. Photograph it. Put it in your wallet. Look at it every day. Remind yourself. But we'll get rid of this now. So we saw that move up, and we saw that extra leg down from support here. That when we sold off, I said, okay, we could see a bounce from here into here. And it's basically printing the exact same PA as Bitcoin, right? We have a big swing failure pattern on the daily. So what do you think we can do? Well, we can look for the exact same setup to play out on the low time frame for a long. There's your SFP. We're going to zoom in. There's your breaker. So this is the exact same setup as Bitcoin. We even have the same thing happening at the highs. It's looking like a swing failure pattern right now. So the likelihood of this retracing down here right now seems pretty high. You could look for a long then in this 4-hour breaker. Your risk is here for a move up to 3,300, up into these highs. These are like equal highs here. So if this is going to play out as a long, that would be my target. And I believe the risk reward is decent. 3R, I'll take that. Okay, so that would be the exact same setup, exact same logic as the Bitcoin trade. Looking at the H12, just like on the long side, we have very similar PA printing here on the potential short side. Let's see how this candle closes. If it closes as an SFP, I think we're at the very least going to fill in some of this white candle, which would line up with a potential long entry down here. So the game that you're playing right now is, are we going to see another leg down from where we're at? Or is this big run on the low here, is this run on the low enough juice, enough trapped short sellers to give us a real pop to the upside? I still think this is a lower high. I still think this would end up being a lower high, but that's the bet you're trying to make. And so I don't see an issue with wanting to long a pullback here, saying, okay, they trapped a bunch of people here. Let's pull it back a little bit. Let's long it, and then let's try and catch a long up into here. I see no issue with that at all. I think the trade makes sense from a PA perspective. Your risk is clearly defined. You have an obvious target. So all of those things, tick, 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 off your trading plan. I see no issue with taking that as a setup here. I am still, again, though, personally thinking we do trade lower. But maybe we get a lower high, right? Maybe from here, what the fuck? Maybe from here to here, right? Look where those equal highs end up playing out. They're right at the OTE. So maybe we come in and we get that lower high, but it happens up here, okay? Before selling off. Or maybe we just sell off from here and it's fucking over. I don't know. But I don't hate the long setup as discussed on both Bitcoin and Ethereum. I'm going to wait and see how the next few hours play out. I want to see how this 12-hour closes, and I want to see what price does. If it does, in fact, pull back down here, I want to see what it looks like. Was this run on the lows enough to give us a relief rally? Or maybe we just go fucking sideways, right? It doesn't have to fucking go up, and it doesn't have to go down. It can chop sideways for a while and fuck people up. Okay, so Ethereum price action and plan basically identical to Bitcoin. Let's see how this next candle closes, and let's go from there. Any significant rally towards 43, 44K, and any significant rally towards 3,300 on Bitcoin and Ethereum respectively, I'm looking to short into if we get that bounce, and I've given you a long trigger that may lead to that bounce. How was Coachella? I wish I was at Coachella. I was spending time with my family being wholesome while a bunch of you degenerates were snorting Molly and cocaine and dancing in the desert like a bunch of hooligans. I was eating turkey and roast beef and mashed potatoes with my parents. Like a good boy. But yeah, I wish I was at Coachella. That looked super fun. I'll kiss you if I chart near. All right, we're no longer going to be charting near, guys. Is ETH lagging behind BTC? I don't know. I mean, a little, but how can you answer that question yourself using things I've taught you on my YouTube channel? Could it be potentially this chart here? I don't know. Nextradamus. That sounds way funnier than what I said. Thank you for that. I don't think you've been wrong for a minute. My P&L says otherwise, but my analysis has been really solid of late. My biggest issue right now is just sticking to my plan. It's one thing to chart a move correctly. It's another thing to execute it on it correctly. And I'm very good at charting. My execution always needs to be improved. I'm not bad at it, but it always needs to be improved. And I had a really good run for a little while, and then I gave back a bunch of gains just doing some stupid shit. But that happens, man. It's an ever-evolving process. You never perfect it. Always something to learn, always something to do. Still holding my ETH. My average is $193, and I'll add as we drop lower. I know it's coming as staking has been pushed back. If you longed Ethereum at $193 and it went up to 4,000, damn near 5,000, and you didn't take any profit, I don't think that's smart. Sick entry, right? But let's assume that Ethereum's going to 10K. We don't need to assume because it's going to happen eventually, right? But if you're telling me you longed Ethereum like here, I don't even know where $193 is. Let's chart it. Pretty damn close. So you're telling me you longed Ethereum here, okay? 2 years ago. And it went up 2,300%. And you didn't take any profit? Because if you're so sure that it's going to pull back, why would you not take some profit because you're up a ridiculous amount and then use that profit to then reinvest lower? Because then you now can own more Ethereum than before. Unless you're just like, I just bought Ethereum and I'm just holding it forever, then sure, do you, bro. But if you're a trader and you don't, I'm not talking about like you're in and out on the daily. Like if you're like even a long-term trend trader, if you're up 20 fucking X on something, you bought it at 100 and it's trading at 4,000, it's stupid, in my opinion, to not take some profit. And then if you believe that the market is going to pull back, as you've just mentioned, to not then use that profit to reinvest lower and therefore increase the amount of Ethereum you can own, it just doesn't make sense to me. But obviously, you got in Ethereum at 193 and I didn't. So maybe you should be telling me what to do. But GG on the sick entry, man. But don't be afraid to take some profits. I love you, Mayne. I hodl. Hey, man. You're the crypto man. So clearly you know. But yeah, if you're just going to hodl, by all means, you do you, man. I'm not here to tell you what to do. Just have a plan. Stick to the fucking plan. That's all that matters. All right, so that was relatively fast. Well, actually, no, it's been an hour. I always think I'm like doing good, but I'm actually redacted. So let's look at KNC. So KNC, we fucking shorted it. Look at this thing. Look at that. Sorry. You know what I need to do again, boys, is another drunk stream. That was so fun, and everyone loved it, and it was hilarious. So I talked about, we had shorted KNC on this down leg, nailed it. And I talked about not buying this pump, right? So when we shorted KNC on this down leg and then it just ripped to the upside, I posted in Discord. I'm like, I'm not buying it. I was like, I feel like this is a 3 drives to the upside. I am not buying this at all. And basically, if we pulled back, if we pulled back on Bitcoin, which we did end up doing, I thought this was going to dump. So rather than short Bitcoin and Ethereum, I said, I bet you if this thing pulls back, it pulls back more. Higher beta play, right? Higher beta play. Say that 10 times fast. Higher beta play. I sound like Obama when I say that. Higher beta play. So we were watching. Let me just pull up the chart because it will be easier than trying to recreate it here. Oh, I used the wrong thumbnail. I've just been informed. Oh God, my editor's gonna be so mad. Okay. So yeah, we basically were looking at KNC. I want to find the chart where I initially spotted it here. Okay. So we were watching KNC here, and basically in Discord, I said, I don't buy this. Pump looks like a 3 drives, and if BTC corrects further, this retraces. So what I had marked out, this level here, I'll show you guys this on the chart, was that previous all-time high, not all-time high, but the previous high that we swept. And I thought that it was fake. I'm like, I don't buy this pump at all. I'm looking to sell into it, is basically what I said. And so I posted this in advance, right? I said, I'm not buying this at all. I also posted a near, and then we obviously came up to that zone. I started filling my shorts, and Bob is your uncle or your aunt. We're respectful. It's 2022 after all. I ended up shorting it. So I watched price trade up above. I said, I don't buy this leg up at all. So what am I looking for? I'm looking for reasons to short. This is just like GMT. Why short this randomly? Look what just fucking happened on this shit too. It came right to that level that I talked about. Go rewind the stream. This was the level we talked about. Maybe I'll draw it with a regular rectangle so it stays. I said, this is the area that needs to hold. And this is how you could get long for another leg up. Lose this, short it, right? So, but this is what I mean on GMT. It's the exact same thing. Trade back below this level. Okay, now we have some way to define our risk. And I can get short. That's exactly what I did on KNC here. Right? I said, okay, I don't buy this pump. So if we get back below this level, I'm looking for reasons to short. And we had a few. So we had first break in market structure here. Okay. Then we had SFP, right? And then another SFP. So this is multiple opportunities to get short after breaking market structure and trading back below this key level to then short it into where? Into the origin of the move, right? So this down move here led to that move up. That becomes your target on shorts. And we came right into there. And if you look right now, we're putting in some SFPs here. This might just end up being a lower high. This might sell off and leg down again. But this was the short setup on KNC, right? So we had our, where did the thing go? Sorry, I'm gonna draw the gray box. I want it to be photo accurate. This is the gray box that I had used to enter. It's basically this bearish order block here. Okay, so this is the up candle that caused the down move to break market structure. We pulled back into it, put in an SFP, came back up to it again, another little SFP, and then we got the sell-off. So that was the short setup. I didn't buy this move above this high here. The high time frame looked like a 3 drives play. And for all those reasons, combined with obviously the PA that actually played out in the area of interest, we got the short, right? We filled up here, took profit down here, and made money. I didn't take profit at this exact low. I actually TP'd the majority of my position around 410 because I thought when Bitcoin made this first dump here, I thought that might be the low, and then I TP'd, and then it legged down one more time, and we ended up trading to like 4. But that's the setup. It played out to a T, so hopefully you guys made some money, because we did the exact same thing here. We did the exact same thing here on KNC. For this one, right, for this leg down that we traded, we did the exact same thing, right? We said, okay, I don't buy this move above the high. I'm looking to fill a short. SFP. Fill here, stop here, target where? Back into the origin of the move, right? Didn't come quite there. Our first target was 380, was a new low. Hit that. My second target was around 360, but once we started trading back up here, I just closed. So we had 2 for 2 on KNC, which I felt good about. Let's get all those lines back. And again, let's watch KNC right now. Okay, just ran above all these highs. So if it breaks this low, you could sell a pullback with your stop up there for another leg lower. Target below 397. All right. Does that make sense to everyone? Sorry, I haven't been paying attention to Twitch. What's up, Treeborn Frog 345? Great name, bro. Hey, Pharaon's friend. What's up, man? Yo, and special shout out to my boy Big Sigma Sensei, the homie. 61.8 entry works well for those. Pretty much same as the OB. The fib lines up with the OB. That's how you know you're right. Generally, I know I'm looking at the right OBs when my fib pull lines up with the OB. Usually that double confluence is quite nice. Just got here. Can you start over? This guy says, what's up, sexy streamer? Thoughts on Platnium, sexy boy? You need to chill, bro. You need to chill out. Okay, my mom watches these. You want me to look at Platnium? What's that? XPD? I still got it. I still know the fucking tag. I haven't traded Platnium in a minute. Damn, that would have been a sick entry. I think it looks good. I think this probably trades higher. Nah, well, I don't love that. I don't love whatever the fuck is going on here. This is not a market I trade. But what I do like is, you know, we took out literally all of the lows, all the way back to 2008. All of the lows are wiped, and then we put in a higher high. Right? So I like that. Pull back. Here's the order block that caused that break in market structure. We tagged it. We put in another swing failure pattern here. So I don't hate this at all. I don't love that upper wick, but assuming precious metals continue to run, I like Platnium for higher. So there you go. What the fuck are you guys talking about in here? Mayne, women have predatory ways, you know. It's a dangerous species. I have mastered my response to their techniques. There's so many spelling mistakes here. And I'm dyslexic, so that's like double trouble. I've mastered my response to their techniques and no longer fall for them. A few days ago, I encountered an entirely different beast, a whole new paradigm when it comes to the jutsu she uses. I am trapped. How can I free my mind from such normie simp thoughts and focus on the markets again? What I would say is find God. Get a little God in your life. Go to church, pray, stop masturbating, go to the gym, drink some water, hang out with the boys, and get locked in again. Or maybe do none of that and do the opposite. Masturbate more, burn a church down, don't hang out with the boys and absolutely become completely unhinged. One of those two things probably will work. Okay, let's look at near here. All right, guys. Near perp. I got a pee, but I'm holding it. I'm kind of doing the pee dance under the desk. You guys can't tell. I'm going to go pee because I'm going to be antsy otherwise. 1 second. I'll put some tunes on for you guys. Sorry about that. I feel much better. Okay. Mayne, do you listen to Grizz? Yeah, I like Grizz. I like most electronic music, except for like super fast-paced shit. Anything that goes like wub wub wub, I'm pretty much into. Well, why is my camera out of focus? Can I handle my fucking head movements? Shit can't keep up. I'm too fucking quick. Okay, let's see here. What the fuck are we doing here? Yeah, don't burn down a church, guys. Let me be very clear about that. That was a joke. Do not do that. Is it weird that I hold my schlong while trading? I imagine you hold your schlong like this because it's so small. It just takes you 2 fingers to hold it. But no, it's not weird at all. Does he have a course? If you're talking about me, the answer is no. I do not have a course. Is there a reason why you prefer to look at perpetual futures charts? So when I'm charting Bitcoin and Ethereum, I like to chart the spot charts because I think that they're the most accurate. But when I'm just looking at random alts and shit. The argument is the same. Ideally, you're charting the spot charts because you're not going to maybe get as crazy wicks for liquidations and shit that occur on the perpetuals. But when you're actually entering the trade, what instrument are you trading? You're not trading near USD. Well, maybe you are, but in this instance, I'm trading near perp, right? I'm trading the perpetual contract, so that's why I'm charting it, because that's where I determine, the levels might be slightly different, that kind of thing. Yeah, I have a ton of, I have like over 200 videos on YouTube, and I teach shit in all of them. It's not very organized. That's my bad, but that's just not how I am. I'm not an organized person. If you could see my cable management of my PC, you'd throw up in your mouth. My old streams are still super valuable educational content. It's just, there's a lot of them, and it is what it is, right? Like, I also have a Discord that's free. Go to tradermayne.com if you want to join. Do we have a fucking bot in the chat? What the fuck? Is that how I know I made it? Put this user in timeout. All right. We're looking at near now. This guy says, how about, Trader Mayne, how about you get near some bitches? That's funny. That's very funny. Ban this man from the chat immediately and never let him come back. I make the jokes. Okay, let's look at near. So what we were looking at on near, and this was the same time that I posted why can't I fucking think today? I'm still full of turkey. This is the same time that I posted the setup on KNC. So I posted this trade on near. I said I want to short a pullback here. Basically the exact same setup as KNC. I said I think we run a little bit. I want to short it and then get a leg down. We came shy of my entry. So my entry was based on, and this was posted in Discord again, but we didn't tag the entry. We got front run by 10 cents or so. So the entry was based on this here. So we had our high time frame resistance here, right? So this is all-time high, I believe. Came up into all-time high, and we saw rejection, okay? And then we had a swing failure pattern here on the H12 after a big rejection. So I said, okay, maybe this has another leg down. So I zoomed in and I said, okay, well, here's the swing failure pattern. Here, I'm looking for price to trade back up into that swing failure pattern, into here, right? That bearish order block that caused the break in market structure, yada, yada, yada. And I want to short that for a leg down. I had my stop here, my entry here, and I think I had my target below this low. And as you can see, we came close, didn't get the fill, and then it sold off and it would have hit target. So I didn't get in the trade personally, but what you could have done is when you saw it trading up towards our entry. So if you're actively trading this and you're watching, when you see the price trade up, right? And then you're like, okay, my entry's here. I'm getting ready. I got my finger on the trigger. If it closes with a big, ugly swing failure pattern like this, as it's approaching your entry, maybe that's a sign that this is as high as it's going to go, and you best enter. So you could have entered on that SFP, or using the exact same logic that I just explained from going from the 12-hour down to the hourly, you could go from the hourly down to the 5-minute and said, okay, there's your big swing failure pattern. I want to get in on the order block that led to the break in market structure. Stop there, and you could have got in for that ride, and it worked out, right? So this reversal here on the 5-minute is exactly what I was looking for to happen up here, but it didn't get that high. And that's okay, but this would have been, if I was paying attention, I was not paying attention when this filled, or when this occurred. I wasn't on screen. If I would have been on screen and saw this close, knowing I wanted to enter up here, I would have shorted either on the 5-minute like I explained there, or just on that SFP close with my stop there. Same target, it would have played out. And now you can see we're actually coming and filling that level right now. So this could be an area where we see price reverse, right? Similar to Bitcoin, it's a little tricky, right? Because we're back into this area where I think price might reverse from, but we also just put in a high time frame SFP here. So range bound, I don't know if I'm short. I know that I'm not short, but you could argue that that initial trade setup played out already. So this second attempt up here is not one you want to short. Or you could say, hey, this is the entry that I was waiting for. Your stop goes up here. Your entry is there, and you play this for another leg down. It's up to you. But that was the near trade. I didn't end up getting in, but it is what it is. What I just explained here, going from the 12-hour with the SFP down to the hourly, dialing in your entry, and then this 1-hour SFP down into the 5-minute, That's my entire fucking system, basically. Outside of just a few discretionary things, and then obviously years of practice and knowing how to spot the patterns and where they occur and why the context matters, you can build an entire system around what I just explained to you there. Just like you can build an entire system around what I explained to you with Bitcoin earlier. Daily SFP, 4-hour breaker for the entry. Invert that for shorts. High bearish SFP, 4-hour breaker for shorts. That's an entire entry pattern that you can build a system around if you put in the work of studying it, where it occurs, why it matters if it occurs here, why is it more important if that occurs down here versus somewhere random, and get that pattern recognition. You can build an entire trading system around that. I don't know many people on YouTube or people who have paid Discords or people on Twitter who actually explain why they enter where they did and why their stop goes where it went and then where the target goes. Most people will just tell you, here's where I think it's going to bounce from, right? Bounce from here and go here. And then it comes down and it does this and then it goes here. But, okay, well, how did you know that it was going to hold there? Where did you actually enter? Did you just enter on the touch? Where was your idea wrong? What happens if you put your stop here and then it wicked you out and then went, right? There's no logic explained behind it, but it looks good to just have an arrow go like this and then this. And then if that happens, it's like, wow, I called it. But, okay, you shorted here. Why? Was it just because there's a level there? That's fine. Where's your idea wrong, right? What's the actual entry? That's one of the things that is coveted most by people because they're like, well, that's the actual alpha. It's not necessarily just where it's going to react. Most people, after a little bit of practice, can get pretty damn good at drawing key SR levels and where price is going to react. What matters is, can you actually formulate a fucking trade at these levels? Can you enter? Can you execute, right? And that's something most people don't share, either because they don't know how to and they're just LARPing, or they don't want to share that, which is totally fine as well. You don't have to share your fucking entry technique. You don't have to. But I do, and I just did again, and I do in so many videos the same fucking pattern. It's just this, right? Okay? This is my fucking system. Invert it. For shorts, right? But where this pattern occurs, why the context of where it occurs matters, what time frames you need to be looking at, that's all stuff that takes experience. You got to practice, you got to watch previous streams because I explain it all, but the basis of it is explained just now and obviously in previous streams as well. In the order block video, I go over it. So there's definitely a lot that can be learned from saying, okay, well, now I have an idea of what I'm looking for at a key level. Now go in and find it. Here it is right here, right? That's exactly what this is. Right, I'll draw it here, sorry. Right, there's your break. There's your pullback. Stop. Boom. That's exactly this. But why? That hurt my eyes. But why is this important? Why is this level important? Why did it work here but maybe not work somewhere else? That's stuff that you're going to learn over time through repetition and adding other tools to your toolkit. But that is a lot of what I do. Not every entry I take is based on a swing failure pattern, but a lot of them are. It's not just an SFP. As much as, to me, it's proving that price, the acceptance above or below a level was a deviation. It was just to trap buyers or sellers. There's a little bit more nuance to it, but the most basic form of it is looking for liquidity raids. Okay? So basically, everyone you see draw SFPs on Twitter owes me money, is what I'm trying to say, including all of you. All of you should be paying me. I should be charging for these streams. I should make a donate button. I should have a premium subscription button. And I should be charging you guys $5.99 a month for this fucking alpha. All right. Yeah, I just tactical nuked the entire stream. Sorry, that's what happens when you go on a 25 kill streak. Like, look, DW, he talks shit at the start of the stream, hasn't said a word since. You want to know why? It's because he's in the bathroom trying to figure out how he can pee when his penis points inside. It doesn't make any sense. It's a scientific anomaly. All right. Any YouTubers I recommend? Yeah, me, motherfucker. Go watch my old videos. What the fuck you mean? All right. I think that's a good place to probably end the stream. A little bit shorter today, but we went over a lot. Like I just said, that fucking pattern I just showed you, go look at that example I just gave you. Go look at previous streams where I talk about that exact same pattern and go and try and see it in your charts. The more you can drill that into your head, that's what I'm saying might form here, right? Boom, boom, right? Now we need to see the break in market structure. Boom, right? But I'm seeing it in advance because I'm like Neo in the fucking Matrix, okay? You still took the blue pill. I'm on the red pill, okay? You need to take the red pill, pop the bean, and start seeing how I see it. But it just takes time. I see it everywhere now. I see it in my day-to-day life. It's like I'm just kidding. But repetition, repetition, repetition. And you can start to build a strategy around that one entry technique. You can have more than one entry technique. I have more than one that I will use. But you need at least one to get started, right? Marking SR is great. That's a great starting point. Understanding risk management, absolutely. Where is price reacting? Okay, how do I manage risk on my account so I'm not fucking getting blown out, right? But then what do I do when price comes to that key level? How do I actually get in a fucking trade? Where do I enter? Where is my stop? Because without those two pieces of information, you're fucked. Okay, so I hope that made sense to everyone. This guy says, do you use a QM, which stands for Quasimodo, pattern for entry? What I just drew is effectively a Quasimodo pattern. I have my own little nuances to it, but it's basically like an over-under, right? That's what a Quasimodo is like an over-under or a head and shoulders. It's all the fucking same thing, but hopefully what you guys are understanding what I'm fucking saying, and you're gonna go watch old videos and understand, that I share a lot with you guys here. And if you put in the time, and I know this shit works because not only do I make money, but I get DMs every day on Discord, on Twitter, messages in the group Discord of people applying this shit in their own charts and it working for them, right? But the difference is they're putting in the time, back testing it, forward testing it, and actually trying it out, as opposed to just hoping that the profitability is going to fall in your lap. You got to put in the work, right? Make fun of BitBoy before leaving. Don't you think that God did a good enough job making fun of BitBoy just with how he constructed him? The man's built like a beanbag chair. I feel bad for him. Except I don't feel bad at all because the guy's fucking richer than me. So maybe he should feel bad for me. Luna, I'll take a look at here. Someone mentioned it. We're still waiting for potentially a move up to short. I don't know if this was it, but this looks like Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? We have a big SFP here on the daily, and we've rallied away. So I think Luna in the short term maybe does something like this, but I'm still looking for a move up to short. I would love to short Luna as close to or just above 100 before another leg down, because I do think another leg down is coming. Same with like Solana. I'm of the mindset, look, we put in a big SFP here, but I'm still of the mindset that Solana trades to like 50, right? Back into here. Remember we talked about this being fake. So, some sort of bounce on Solana, maybe a bounce across the board on alts before another lower high, lining up with Bitcoin getting a bit of a bounce before another lower high, Ethereum a bounce before another lower high, right? If Bitcoin goes to 44 and Ethereum goes to 3,300, Luna will trade back above 100, and Solana will trade back at like 120, and everyone will think that the low is in, and that we're going back to all-time high, and that would be a perfect place, in my opinion, to then pull the fucking rug and dump it again. But we'll see. You can box him in Dubai. I don't think he's invited to Dubai, and I also don't think we're in the same like weight size class. I'm 6'2", 200 pounds. I'm pretty sure he's about 5'4", 700 pounds. So it wouldn't be fair. Link to join my Discord, www.tradermayne.com. All the information you need. All right, guys. So I hope you enjoyed the stream. If you have any questions, you can message me on Twitter. Join the Discord. Yeah, I'll be back with another video this week. I'm going to do a pre-recorded video tomorrow. Hopefully get that out by Wednesday. And we'll keep on keeping on. All right, guys. Love you so much. Thank you for watching. I will talk to you soon.